Hi everyone. Just give us 1 minute. We'll start the session. Hi everyone. Just give us 1 minute. We'll start the session. Hi everyone. Just give us 1 minute. We'll start the session. Okay.
Yeah, you are echoing.
Sorry.
You are echoing. I think you need to turn off the YouTube live
Okay.
or turn off the volume of the YouTube.
Right. Sorry.
You are echoing. I think you need to turn off the YouTube live
You may mute the YouTube
or turn off the volume of the YouTube.
on the other.
You are echoing. I
Okay.
think you need to turn off the YouTube live
You may mute the YouTube
or turn off the volume of the YouTube.
on the other.
You are echoing.
Okay. 1 minute.
I think you need to turn off the YouTube live
You may mute the YouTube
or turn off the volume of the YouTube.
on the other.
You are echoing. I think you need to turn off the YouTube live.
The YouTube
Turn off the volume of the YouTube.
Where do I go there?
Dinesh ji, you are having this YouTube live running, right? Is it on the same device or some other device?
Is it now gone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I think it's
perfect.
gone.
Okay. Perfect. Sorry. First time issues. Okay. So fine. So can everyone see me? Am I visible?
No, sir, your camera.
Okay.
Okay, now.
I'm visible. Okay. Great.
Yes, sir, yes.
Excellent. So, good morning to everyone. My name is Dinesh Singh. Along with me, I have my colleague Tanveer and also Rangdol, who is online supporting us on technology side. So, today's session is mostly to brief you about Cultus job readiness, the CGR, our key product, which is a world-class product. We use it for making students job ready. Now, this is a mandatory course for everybody who's doing the skilling course related to AWS. Okay, so all of you have completed your AWS courses. I think you're left with your labs and cases. Now, for people who are doing labs and cases, you have to continue doing that. But for people who are after completing that, you also have to do AWS course, which is a mandatory course for you. So what I'll do basically is I will showcase you one small video done by our managing director explaining you what this job readiness is, because this is one critical part which is quite different than what most of the skilling programs happen, and this is the difference what we have when compared to any other organization. Okay, so the job readiness is a unique platform built by Cultus Education, and this platform basically has identified the skills required for the industry, and it will first assess you on how you are placed, whether you are placed at a higher level or a mid level or just needs improvement sort of thing. And then based on that, you'll be defined into three buckets, like you'll have bronze, silver, and gold. And then based on that, your learning path, that is the courses you have to do, is decided. Like people who have scored better in the initial assessment, which is a psychometric assessment, you will get you'll have to learn. If you are at a gold, you have to learn less. When you are at a bronze, you'll have to learn more. I'll just explain this. I think once that is done, I'll show you live how it works out. And then my colleague Tanveer, who heads the placement, will explain you how the placement process works out in that case. Okay. So uh, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll just, this is about a 10 to 12 minutes video, which will give you some idea about our product.
So there's no sound.
Sorry, what is happening now? Sound is not there.
Yes, sir. Should I play it from my side, sir?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, I have
unmute.
the video. I can play it from my side,
Okay,
sir.
please play it.
Sure, sir.
Okay, we can see the screen.
I think this is unsupported. Wait a second, sir.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Can you see it, sir?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. I'll just play it. I hope sound is there.
The sound is also.
Gen Z is widely considered an employer's nightmare, and survey after survey shows this. A new one is out. It says that 1 in 6 companies do not want to hire Gen Z. They say Gen Z is entitled, easily offended, unable to handle feedback, lacking in motivation, professionalism, strong work ethic, and communication skills. That's quite the list. It makes you think, what doesn't Gen Z lack? Apparently, the ability to make things worse.
Long before you heard the words employability, job readiness, etc., the world knew that job readiness among fresh graduates has been on the decline over the last few decades. We, just after the pandemic, conducted one of the largest surveys among employers, hiring managers, university owners and management, as well as students, to find out what is the reality. Because as a company that is obsessively focused on outcome, which is getting people jobs, we realized that there wasn't enough campus hiring happening. So we went back and did this massive survey. We asked hiring managers, what do you exactly want among fresh graduates? We asked university owners, why are your students not getting placed? And we asked students what they feel about this whole hullabaloo about being educated but not employable, being not job ready. Here is what we found. Industry told us 95%, yes, you heard me right, 95% of fresh graduates are unemployable. It takes up to 6 months to a year to get them job ready, and by then most of them are into their second jobs. University owners told us that they have been given an unrealistic task. Their job was to be the fountains of knowledge and information. Suddenly, they are being asked to produce people like unicorn talent ready for the workplace. They don't have the latest curriculums for Industry 4.0 technology courses, which is what the industry wants. After all, technology is everywhere. If they have the curriculum, they don't have the latest one because it changes every 2 or 3 weeks. Neither do they have the faculty to teach this with the appropriate accreditations. On the other hand, students are completely confused as to what is expected from them. So we asked industry, stop whining and complaining about job readiness. Please tell us what it means. Now, you know, industry, they always want unicorn talent. They gave us a list of hundreds of skills and competencies. But when we filtered it down to its bare essence, it came down to 30 skills and competencies that are essential for any fresh graduate to be job ready, we built a unique skill center, the first of its kind anywhere in the world, and it's been running and very successful in ASEAN across the 10 countries, with endorsements by ministries, governments, government bodies, private institutions. What is it that this does? We took these 30 skills and grouped them into 5 skill clusters. We ensured that any learner who comes in first takes a psychometric assessment, goes through the assessment on these 5 skill clusters that have 30 competencies, and gets a score to tell them where they are versus where they should be. The institution also gets an overall score of its students to tell them where your university ranks on these 30 competencies for job readiness versus national average, industry expectation, your state or province, or internationally. It's a good benchmark. So first step, a student or learner gets a clear idea of where they stand on these 30 competencies. In the next step, the tool gives them a personalized learning path, which is something that is very essential. No student likes to sit in a classroom with a one-size-fits-all lecture. What that does is, the weak students need to go back home and find tuitions to catch up, and the smart students, or the ones that are stronger and know the subject well, get bored in class. You need to personalize the experience. So for each of these 30 competencies, the tool gives you a personalized learning path. That means you have to do more if you're weak and less if you're good for that particular skill or competency out of the 30. Once you complete your personalized learning path, which is built in a manner that the modern learner learns, right? This is the age of Instagram, where people don't have patience to even watch a 1-minute reel, let alone sit through hours of a classroom. So the personalized learning path is very engaging, fun, short videos. So you start with the assessment, you go through your personalized learning path. Now, once you finish your personalized learning path, you are considered employable. And we have gamified it. It's like a 5-star rating of a hotel. The first star is given to you when you do your assessment. The second star is given to you when you finish 50% of your learning path. And the third star is given to you when you finish your learning path completely. And that's when you're considered 3 stars employable. At this stage, you are also encouraged, in fact forced, to put your resume on our job portal, where thousands of employers recognize the skill center's job readiness rating system. We said, let's sort that too. Post the learning path completion, the tool matches the learner for industry, geography, and demography. What does it mean? Which industry do you want to work in? Which geography do you want to work in? Are you willing to relocate? Do you want to work only in your city, in your province, or just in the country? And finally, demography. What were your marks in the previous semesters? Are you male? Are you female? What is your age? Based on all of that, the tool matches and gives you 5 master classes. These are done and delivered by some of the top industry names you can think of. People with decades of experience in that particular industry. Once you finish the master classes, you get your 4th star. And once you have earned the 4th star, you are now considered job ready for a domestic company. To earn the 5th star, the learner goes through a video submission as well as a personal interview, where we judge in great detail everything from their grooming, the way they walk, talk, behave, the way they speak, and of course, business English is a must for the 5th star, because earning the 5th star means you are job ready to work in a multinational corporation. This is the job readiness program, from 1 star to 5 stars. As tough as it seems to you of getting a job, let me tell you a surprise truth. There are more jobs out there than there are people looking for jobs. It may surprise you, but it's the truth. Look around and read all the newspapers around you. They all speak about the great talent shortage. I have visited hundreds of campuses, thousands of employers, and all employers, whether it's a roadside small shop owner or a multinational hiring in the thousands, they say the same thing. We are unable to find the right candidate. So there are enough jobs. It's just that you don't know how to get them and how to match with them and how to be job ready and present yourself appropriately. So how is this delivered in an institution? Hence, in each institution, we place a relationship manager. The relationship manager works in partnership with the university or institution to amplify their efforts. The relationship manager on site ensures students remain motivated to go through the path and adopt the tool. Faculty realizes that this is a useful tool and does not interrupt with their teaching. This is the model. We embed ourselves within your organization and institution and amplify all your placement efforts through a hybrid model and a gamified approach that ensures that students get placed appropriately. Not just placed, but placed appropriately. For universities, it gives you access to the latest curriculum, latest Industry 4.0 courses, and all other courses which you may not have faculty or latest content for. For students, it gives you access to these courses as well as the job readiness program, which guarantees you a placement after a certain point. To students, I say, your search for jobs is over. It is just 4 stars away.
Thanks, Bandhu.
Hello everyone. So
Okay, I'll take over the screen from you. Okay. So if you have noticed it here, actually there are a few things I would like to share before we just get into the other parts of Cultus job readiness, CGR. Now, you must have gone through all the skilling sessions that is mainly related to AWS. As for completing the complete course, you will have to complete your labs cases. Apart from that, you have to have 85% plus attendance. You are eligible to graduate, and then you will get a voucher to write the CCP exam, which most of you must have written already or are going to write it. Now, along with that, for placements, it is mandatory for you to do Cultus job readiness, at least minimum 4 star. Okay. I'll explain you what is a 5 star also in this session. Okay. Now, what we do basically, what we will cover here is about, we talked about the overview of the session, but these are the 5 clusters. Like as I mentioned earlier, we are looking at 30 skills which are required for anybody to work in an industry. These are the 30 skills which we defined into 5 clusters: growth mindset, entrepreneurial skills, problem solving, critical thinking, digital, technological skills, communication, people skills, and self-management. Now, these are the key clusters. When you would have got an email from Cultus Skill Center with user ID and password, that is basically the credentials to log in into our platform. In case you have not received it in your inbox, check it in your spam box. In case you have not received in spam box, also just connect with your trainers so that they can connect with us and give you that give the access, or you can write a message to support@cultusedu.com. We will provide you the revised or updated credentials so that you can log in and use this platform. Okay, so I will also explain how to use this platform also, but before that, a little more information just to revise what we have seen in the video. So whatever you are doing right now is all gamified. Okay, and if you see, when you do the psychometric test, the assessment, which will be divided into 5 clusters. Okay, so each cluster will have 30 questions. 30 minutes time is given to you. And once you complete that cluster, you can move to the second one. Okay, so each one covers these topics and rates you based on what you answer actually. Now, when you complete the first, the part that is the first module, which is your assessment, initial assessment, you will be given 1 star. Okay, then based on your initial assessment, your learning path is defined. That is where you will get what to study. You will have it in a Instagram video type things, like 6 to 8 minutes videos, followed by a quiz, which is mandatory for you to clear. 80% above is what you need to get it to complete that particular course. Okay, so like this, you, depending on what your initial assessment score is, you will have a defined learning path. as I mentioned, if you are having a higher score, you will have to learn less. If you have less score, you will have to learn more. That is the difference. So once you complete your learning path, you will get second star. The third star comes when you complete your expert sessions. There are 5 to 8 expert sessions, which are the videos again, the recorded videos, which you have to go through. Okay. And when you complete this, you will get the third star. The fourth star is AI related projects, real world projects, which are given mostly on your AWS course. Okay. So there is one project given to you. You have to complete this project and you have to get the passing scores here. Okay, only then you get the 4th star. Now, 5th star is basically simulated interviews. You have 10 interviews assigned to you. 5 are given initially, so please take it very seriously. Don't play around with this, because I've seen many learners, what they do is they try using AI tools. They're watching when the screen is on, they're watching left side, right side, and things like that. That's when I think it catches everything and it gives negative score, because it looks at your body language, your grooming, your eye contact, your communication skills, your knowledge on the subject. All these things are looked when your interviews are happening. This is a very good simulated interview tool which will help you understanding what your strength areas are, what your areas of improvement are. Okay, because a critical part for anybody in the job is before you go to a placement is getting through the interview process. Okay, so you will have 5 sessions allotted initially, and in this 5, if you clear it, you will get 5 star. If not, there is a pause of 1 week where it will give you time for you to come prepared again. After 1 week, it will open again and it will give you 5 more chances to do the simulated interviews. So you have total of 10. Then follows a cumbersome process of manual interview process. So I would suggest use this 10 to complete your 5 star if you want to do it. So this is there. Now coming back to how the product works, okay, how the platform works. As I mentioned out, you would have received an email from support@cultusskillcenter.com, where you would have got your user ID password. In case you have not received, I'm repeating it again, in case you have not received it, please connect with your trainers. Before connecting with trainers, check your spam box also. Okay, ideally it won't go to spam. It comes into your inbox only, because I've not seen even one person getting there. Okay, so then once you get that thing, you need to log in. So I'll just come to the process, how it works out. Just share the screen. I think you can see the screen, right? So this is just a user manual, which will also share it. Okay, so you will receive this link for the platform, which is called Cultus Skill Center. You will have this screen. This can also be made in black background, but I've made it white so that it is visible to you. Okay, so you'll receive a user ID password. You can log in through the student login. Okay, and then once you log in, this is a dashboard, what you get it. So if you see, there are 3 tabs on the top. You have to get into the job readiness. Okay, so when you get into the job readiness, you have the 5 modules which are visible. The first one is the initial assessment. You need to press at start, but please note here, once you start your training, okay, once you start your assessment, initial assessment, once the timer starts, you cannot change your screens. You cannot use a tab button. You cannot keep it idle for long. If you do that, it will immediately auto submit the assessment. So while the idea behind this is that you should be focused on only completing your assessment, not look at other screens or use tabs and all these things up. So that is the reason why we have given the auto submit model. So I am again telling, so you have to submit, focus on the assessment, complete those 30 questions, okay, and submit it. Only when you complete one module, you'll have 5 sub modules like this. So each module will have 30 questions, 30 minutes. And once you complete it, you can take a break if you want it, then you can do the second module. But in middle of that, you cannot do that actually. Okay. So once you complete the assessment, you will be defined into three. You will be bucketed into three categories. Browns. Browns is basically 0 to 50 percentile. 51 to 75 percentile is silver, and 76 to 100 percentile is gold. Your learning path is defined based on that. Okay, so once the initial assessment is done, you have course module. You will be allotted the short videos, 6 to 8 minutes. You need to go through those videos, complete that, and then you will have to do the quiz and pass that quiz by 80%. Okay, and then the third part, as I mentioned earlier, the expert sessions. Once you complete the second part, then the third part opens up. You have to go through 5 to 8 videos from the very prominent industry experts who will talk about some relevant topics related to your subject. Okay, and the fourth star, which is basically given to you, is for real world projects. When you start it, you will be given a project, AI related tool. So if you look at it, this product is mostly AI built product. So it will give you live real world projects which you have to complete and submit it. Based on that, you'll get the score. You need to pass this also to get the 4-star. The fifth one is the simulated interview. Okay, so I will give you this complete training module. My team will share it across with you, this thing. And just to reiterate again, 1 minute. So I'm just sharing one critical point, which is very critical here. That's the reason I switched the PPT. So this is important for you. Do not leave this page when you're doing initial assessment. That is part 1. Do not switch tabs. Do not navigate away. Otherwise, you will get auto submit. This is the most critical part, because most of the learners come back to us saying that it got submitted because they were keeping it idle, or they were trying to look into other tabs and things like that. This is the thing about your Cultus job readiness. If you have any questions, anything like that, I'm happy to answer them. You can put your questions in the chat bot on the YouTube. After this, I'll hand it over to my colleague Tanvir, who will talk about the placement process and all. Okay. So anybody having any questions, you can reach out to your trainers and still come back, because I don't have anybody asking me questions related to Cultus job readiness. Over to you, Tanvir.
Hello, everyone. Good morning to all the students joining this TNSDC AWS Restart Batch 2. I'm really happy to be a part of this opening session today. A big thank you to Dinesh sir for setting the context about the Cultus Job Readiness Program. I'm Tanvir, Head of Corporate Relations and Placement at Cultus Education. And my role is to ensure that each one of you not only completes this training successfully, but also transitions into a career opportunity that matches your potential. This job readiness program is designed with one goal: make sure you're truly employable. Completing the AWS Restart training gives you strong technical skills, but employers also look for how well you communicate your thoughts, how confidently you approach interviews, and how effectively you apply your technical learning to solve real problems. That's exactly where Cultus job readiness bridges the gap between what you know and how you should show it in front of the employers. When we speak to recruiters, they often say, we get technically trained candidates, but we want people who can think on their feet, explain ideas clearly, and work as part of a team. So here is what the companies expect. They expect strong communication and clarity. not just English fluency, but the ability to express ideas confidently. They also expect problem-solving mindset. Even if you don't know the answer, can you approach the question logically? Then workplace behavior and accountability, which is showing professionalism, punctuality, and ownership of work. There is also an expectation from the industry for your adaptability, because the technology and tools change fast. Employers love learners who keep upgrading themselves. So Cultus Job Readiness is designed keeping all of these in mind. So once you complete this training and the job readiness modules, our placement process begins. So here is how it works. We'll start with the profile evaluation. It will review your resume, skills, and communication level. Then comes the job matching based on your skill, location preference, and interest areas like cloud, IT support, networking, etc. Then the employer interaction. So Cultus connects you with recruiters from our partner organizations for. Here the key point is you will never be left alone after training. A team works with you to help you cross that final step from training to employment. Here is my simple advice to all of you. Take every assignment seriously. It reflects your learning discipline. Participate in discussions and mock interviews. Keep updating your resume as you progress through the modules. Don't fear interviews. They are just conversations to show what you know. And most importantly, keep a positive professional attitude. Remember that employers hire attitude first and skills second, because skills can be trained, but attitude defines how far you will go. In the next few weeks, you will gain not only technical knowledge, but also the professional confidence to start your career. So use this opportunity wisely. You are already one step ahead by being here today. The Cultus team is fully committed to supporting your journey from learning to employment. Thank you, and I look forward to interacting with many of you during the placement phase. All the best and make the most of this wonderful opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there are some questions which were coming in, which I was seeing in the chat board. Okay. One, I'll just share the screen. Somebody was asking me, how is the tier system working? 1 minute. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So here, this is the tier system. For bronze, it is 0 to 50 percentile. Silver, it is 51 to 75 percentile. Gold, it is 76 to 100 percentile. Okay. This is one question. When the second question was asked on the placement side, see, for any placements to start, you have to complete your CCP course first. Okay. Your CCP exam, you have to pass it. I think you would have got in your emails the vouchers and all. Once you complete 85% attendance and other things. Then once you complete the CCP course, which is the mandatory one, that is a skilling course, what you're doing it. Post that is you have to be job ready by doing this course. The time limit is as early as possible. Ideally, it takes any time between 4 days to 10 days, depending on how fast you do it. Like if you are fully focused on this, I can do 4 stars in 4 days also, or in 2 days also. It's only just like you're watching a web series. If you're continuously watching it, you can complete it in 1 day. But if you plan it and do it, you can do it as fast as possible. So complete this so you can focus, because now that your skilling session is over, you're doing your labs and your cases. Along with that, you can complete this also. Okay. So any other questions? I'll be happy to answer it. Okay. Fine. In the case, if you have any questions, you can connect with your trainers and we can help you out with that in that case. Okay. So thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.